Hey, this is Rob from JTRpodcast.com, and this is just a quick overview of the Daimyo box for Rising Sun. This is the thing with all the Kickstarter exclusives in it. Just having a look at what's in there and seeing what you get extra and is it worth it. So the first thing you get is you get some extra season cards to add some variability to your games. You already get plenty of those, so you probably don't need them. I'm not sure which ones exactly you get in this box and whether these are better than any of the others because they're all just in one big pile for me. But you're going to get a lot of them, so you can miss out on those, that's fine. Now the plastic strongholds, I would not want to be without these. These look fantastic on the board, especially the turtles. They look phenomenal. Those little movable strongholds on the back of a turtle, they look amazing on the board. They're very heavy and very well built as well, so I wouldn't like to do without these. I really like these plastic strongholds. I think they add quite a bit. Next are the Alliance tokens. Now these look really nice, they feel really nice. They're plastic, but they've got a bit of a rubbery texture to them. I don't know what it is that's doing that. They've got a nice shine on them as well, and the light hits them. They look great. To be honest, I'm glad I've got them, but if I didn't have them, if it was an additional purchase that I didn't pick up, I wouldn't care. Because the cardboard ones you get in the game, they do the exact same job, they just don't look as nice. And they're kind of sat in the corner on the board on their own, just not doing anything most of the game anyway. So I'm glad I've got them, but I wouldn't miss them if I didn't, and I think this is one of those things where if you don't have them, don't worry about it. Next are the Mandate cards, which are plastic, but they feel tile. They're a really nice material. They're big and thick and chunky, and you can sort of flip them like poker tokens, kind of, and they make that same clicking noise. It's very satisfying. It's great when you're shuffling them. But it's kind of great when you're shuffling them. They're very thick, they're very difficult to maneuver, and when you've got the full stack at the beginning of a round, if you've got small hands, we played with somebody who was quite young, I think mid-teens, his hands were quite small, he did struggle, he needed to use both hands to pick up this stack of tiles. Now I can't remember what the tiles are like that you get with the retail version of the game. I can't remember if they're card. I think they are card rather than a thick card, rather than a normal card, like a magic card type thing. And again, these look great on the board. People were looking at them when I was setting the game up because we're waiting for other people to finish while I was setting the game up. People were coming over and going, "What are these? Are these just for selecting the actions? That's amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, but I can't pick them up." So again, if I didn't have these, I wouldn't be bothered. But I've got them, so I'm going to use them. I am very tempted to put these in a drawer somewhere and get the old ones out just because they're easier to handle. So for me, the same as the Alliance token for these. I've got them, so I'll use them. But if I didn't have them, I wouldn't mind too much. Next up, I think these plastic flags came in this box. I think these are Kickstarter exclusive. I'm going to include them because I believe they are. I like them on the board. They pop out. They're better than the little round cardboard tokens you get in the retail version. They're much better than that. They are very fragile. That little spot at the base where the flag pokes into the base itself is very thin. And it's one of those things that's it's not going to take much for that to snap. And because it's so thin, it's going to be difficult to glue. You're going to need to get some of that glue that, I can't remember what it's called, that model people use to glue their miniatures together. The really strong glue, you need some of that. So I am worried about these breaking. I think they will do at some point. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through life without one of these going. Pushing them in is going to be a problem. If you don't push them in straight, they're going to snap. I think if you don't pull them out straight, they're going to snap. They just seem so brittle around that joint. But I do think they look great on the board, and you can easily see which regions are going to have a war at the end of the round. So I'm glad I've got these. Next up are the plastic Ronin tokens. They look good. They're 3D. I don't care. The cardboard tokens are good enough. They're just a bit thicker and they're a bit more plasticky. That's it. The cardboard ones are fine. If I didn't have these, I wouldn't mind. The Fox Clan, the Orange Fox Clan. Now this is an interesting one because they are Kickstarter exclusive. You're not going to be able to get that in retail as far as I'm aware. So I have all 8 clans, and if I was missing one, I'd be disappointed if I only had 7 of the possible 8 that I could get. So I'm glad I've got these. I do like the options. I like the options of having all these different clans. I know that when we're playing with 6 players, there's going to be 2 left out instead of just 1. So there's going to be more variety during a 6-player game, if that makes sense. They've also got a really cool ability as well, which is good. It's kind of different from all the others, which is great. And they're orange, which is a good colour. They pop out on the board, which is very nice. I just think it's a decent clan to own. I would be really, really gutted if I couldn't get this, honestly. It's a shame that they've made a clan, which is such an important part of the game, that they've made a clan exclusive this way. They did it with Blood Rage with the Wild Boar clan, but they don't have a personality, they don't have an ability, so they're just figures. I use the Wild Boar clan because they're purple and that's the colour I play, but apart from that, you just don't need them. And finally, you get 10 monsters. Now, I don't know which ones they are, because again, they're just all shoved in my box, all mixed up together. You get a ton of monsters. Here's all the monsters we played in our game when we played. The rest of them were in a box. Doing a quick head count, I make that about 19. So there's 19 monsters there. There was another 10 or so back in the box. So for completeness, I'm glad I've got them. I'm not too bothered if I didn't, because they're just more monsters. One of them's that one that's not even a Japanese monster anyway. So there's only really 9 Japanese monsters in the box and 1 New Zealand guy, monkey. So yeah, that's it. Of the 8 things you get in this box, 2 of them I'll be really want to have. The Fox Clan and the Plastic Strongholds. I would be lying to you if I say I'm not super glad I've got those. A few other things you can give or take, so it doesn't really matter. So that is the Daimyo box. What do you think of this? Have you got it? Are you glad you've got it? Are you missing out on this? Are you disappointed about missing out on it? Let me know in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter at JTR Podcast. You can support the channel at patreon.com/JTR Podcast to find the blog and the podcast at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jester the Rogue, and I'll see you soon.